Hi there, I'm Jenny with Cosmic Gypsy, and in this video, we are going to talk about breathing. We're going to talk about how to identify if you are breathing incorrectly, and then we're going to talk about ways that you can fix it. We're going to do really simple breathing exercises that won't take very long, but it's definitely worth your while to stick with it because when you improve the way that you breathe, the way that you feel improves automatically, and it happens just like that. So, when you're breathing incorrectly, it's going to be a really shallow breath. It's going to be totally confined to up here in your chest. You might notice that your chest lifts, your shoulders lift a little bit, and it's kind of a short and shallow breath. And that kind of breathing is good for when you're doing cardio or when you're running away from a lion, for example. And hopefully, you're never running away from a lion. But I use that example because that kind of breathing stimulates your sympathetic nervous system so that you can get a lot of air into your lungs faster than if you were to breathe in a way that like calms your system down, right? So it would make sense that in an emergency situation, when your body is heightened and everything's on alert, that the way that you're breathing would be different than the way that you're breathing when you're calm, right? And then once the threat is over, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in and it sort of calms everything down. And we can recreate this effect by slowing our breathing down. So when we breathe correctly, which is a long, slow, deep, rhythmic breath, that leads to feelings of peacefulness in the body and in the mind. You're going to feel a lot calmer and your body is going to be relaxed rather than being constantly in a state of, of stress and anxiety. So if you haven't been paying attention to the way that you breathe your entire life and you've been breathing only up into your upper chest, which your lungs actually go down here, like where your diaphragm is, like this is the bottom of your lungs. So if you're never expanding this area, your body is constantly in fight or flight mode. And we do not want that. We want to breathe and expand all of our lungs, and so that we can be efficient breathers and so that we can actually stay calm, cool, and collected whenever we need it. And when we find ourselves during times of panic or stress or anxiety, we can use our breath to calm our system down. There are nerves in your nostrils that cross and go into the hemispheres of the brain, and it controls your brain, which controls the rest of your body. Okay. So this is a direct line to your brain that's going to make you feel better immediately. Okay, that is enough of the sort of biology of breathing. It was just a really quick overview, but I wanted you to understand the reason that we want to practice proper breathing. And if you want more information, there's plenty of information about this online. It's a really fascinating topic, and our bodies are totally miraculous. So I do encourage you to check this out. But for now, we're going to go through a few very short and simple breathing exercises so that you can recognize what it feels like to breathe correctly and that you can start working on that in your day-to-day life. The first exercise that we're going to do is just a breath awareness exercise. And for this, I'm going to ask that you lay down and just make yourself comfortable. You can lay down on the floor, you can lay down on the bed. Just make sure that you're comfortable and that if you need any pillows to support any part of your body, you have those available. If you want to cover up with a blanket, that's fine. We're not going to be here for a terribly long time, but do whatever you need to feel comfortable and relaxed. And just give yourself the gift of a few focused moments that could potentially improve your quality of life for the rest of your life. And why am I asking you to lie down? I want you to lie down because when you're laying down, you don't feel the need to suck your stomach in. And we want your belly, your abdomen to be completely relaxed so that you can get a nice full breath down into your belly. And this will just be much easier to do on your back. And then when you get comfortable with that, you can obviously move to a seated position and practice it that way. And then you can use it anywhere you want in your daily life, whether you're sitting, standing, whatever. But first, we're just going to get used to what it feels like. Okay, good. So now that you're laying down, I just want you to breathe normally, just for a few breaths. And don't try to control anything, just breathe and notice what it feels like when you breathe. You might notice the air going in and out through your nose. In correct breathing, we always want to breathe in and out through the nose. You might notice that the air is cooler on the inhale and warmer on the exhale. And now go ahead and notice what it feels like as the breath hits the back of your mouth, the top of your throat. What does that feel like on the inhale and on the exhale? And then go ahead and notice what it feels like when the breath is in your throat on the inhale and on the exhale. Again, don't try to control anything. We're not here to change anything at this moment. We're just here to observe. We're just bringing awareness to what it is to breathe. Okay, now feel the breath going into your chest on the inhale and back out on the exhale. And now be aware of the lungs expanding as you inhale and relaxing as you exhale. And now see if you can bring awareness and allow your rib cage to expand as you inhale and relax as you exhale. And now see if you can follow the breath from your nose all the way down into your belly on the inhale, and then back up and out on the exhale. Just see if you can follow that breath. There's no judgment here. There's no need to force anything. We're not trying to cause extra tension. We are just observing the breath and bringing awareness to where the breath goes. This breath that we have is so precious. It brings essential oxygen to every single cell in our body. Without it, our system will shut down and die very quickly. But with it, we are going to have more energy, more vitality. It is the most precious resource that we have, okay? So taking the time to bring awareness to your breath is a beautiful practice that you can do. So just one more time, feel the breath going from your nose all the way down into your abdomen, and then back up and out through your nose again. Okay, so how did that feel? Was this the first time that you've ever really paid attention to how you're breathing? Did you notice a shift in the way that you were breathing from the beginning versus the end? And what did that feel like to you? It's always good to sort of just take notice of what happens when you do these kinds of practices. So that was just to get you aware of your breath. And now I want to move into a few short breathing practices that you can do throughout the day anytime to check in with your breathing and just make sure that you're breathing correctly. But I want you to remain lying down. So here, we're going to practice first breathing into the abdomen, and then we're going to breathe into the rib cage and let the rib cage expand, okay? From there, we're going to move into breathing just into the upper chest so we can get an experience of what that feels like, and then we're going to put all three together. First, we have abdominal breathing, and this is the most efficient way that you can breathe. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that this is the way that babies naturally breathe, and that we sort of lose that ability over time as we get older. So go ahead and put your right hand on your belly and your left hand in the center of your chest. Now see if you can breathe down into your belly, letting the belly expand and making sure that the chest doesn't move. You just want to expand your belly. Breathe in through your nose. Follow that breath all the way down to the abdomen and let the abdomen expand. The hand will rise a little bit, belly rises. And then you exhale, the belly falls, and let that air come all the way back up and out through your nose. Let's do that again. Inhale all the way down into your belly. The belly rises, and then exhale, and the belly falls. I'd like you to practice that breath a few more times, and I'm going to just talk to you a little bit while you're doing that. So try not to have this cause extra tension in your body. Don't force the breath to make the belly expand. It's going to expand sort of naturally on its own if you just allow it and you bring your attention to it. You do want this to be a deep breath, but you don't want this to be a forced breath. Ideally, you want the inhalation and the exhalation to be one fluid, smooth movement. Okay, so from here, I'd like you to move your hands to the sides of your rib cage. And we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to focus on expanding the ribs out to the side. See if you can do this without letting the chest lift, without having the shoulders come up. Just breathe to expand your rib cage out to the sides. See if you can fill that up. Again, don't force this. Don't bring any extra tension to this. Just focus on expanding your rib cage, filling that up with oxygen. This is where the bottom of your lungs are. This is where we want to get the breath. We want to make sure that we're filling up our entire lungs with oxygen. At first, this might feel a little bit challenging, but it definitely gets easier with time. So just a few more breaths here. Nice, smooth breath, inhale and exhale. Whatever rate feels comfortable to you. Don't try to force it. So now we're going to move into breathing just into this upper chest area. It's called clavicular breathing. And this isn't something that I would recommend doing on the regular, but just to have an experience of what this feels like so that you can recognize it when you're doing it. Again, this is the way that you're going to be breathing if you're engaging in some really intense physical exercise. It might be the way that you're breathing if you're having an asthma attack. This is not exactly recommended. It's not an efficient way to breathe at all. But we do need to understand what it feels like so that we can recognize it when we're doing it. So go ahead and put both of your hands on your chest. And then take a breath in and expand your rib cage just like we did before. And at the end of that inhalation, see if you can inhale even more to fill up your upper chest. And when you do that, you might notice that your chest expands and that your shoulders lift a little bit. And then you're going to exhale slowly, releasing your neck and your shoulders, and then your chest, and then your rib cage. Okay, that might have felt a little bit weird, so let's go ahead and do it again. Inhale and expand your ribs out to the sides. And at the end of that inhale, just see if you can inhale a little bit more and expand your upper chest and notice what happens with your chest and your shoulders. And then exhale. So go ahead and do that one more time. I know it takes a little bit of effort to do this, but you just want to make sure that you recognize what that feels like when you're breathing up here into your upper chest. Okay, good. So now we're going to put all three of those together. This is called long, deep breathing. It's also called yogic breathing, but you don't have to be a yogi to practice it. Again, we're just bringing awareness to the way that we breathe. We're getting used to filling up as much as we possibly can with oxygen without forcing it. We're just getting used to breathing. So just stay lying down on the floor. And again, put your right hand on your belly and your left hand on the center of your chest. And this is going to be a long, smooth inhale followed by a long, smooth exhale. Don't worry about whether or not they're of equal lengths right now. Just try to focus on bringing the breath in all the way down into your abdomen on the inhale. Your belly is going to rise, followed by your rib cage, and then followed by your chest. And then on the exhale, we'll release the chest, and then the rib cage, and then the belly. Okay? So here we go. So inhale all the way down into your abdomen and let the belly rise. And then allow the ribs to expand. And then breathe into the upper chest. And now exhale, relax the chest, relax the rib cage, relax the abdomen. And pull the abdomen in at the very end of that exhale to get all of the air out. And again, Inhale, belly, rib cage, chest, and exhale, chest, rib cage, belly. Just do that 2 more times on your own. Very good. So if I were you, I would start with perhaps 5 to 10 repetitions of that, and then you can slowly over time work your way up. You want to make sure that you're keeping your body relaxed while you're practicing this. So if you need to stay lying down on the floor the first few times that you do it, that's totally okay. And once you get used to breathing into all 3 chambers and filling all of this up, once you're comfortable with the way that that feels, drop breathing into your chest and focus only on your belly and your rib cage. These are the only two areas that you want to expand if you're breathing properly. Anytime that you notice that you're breathing only into your chest, I recommend that you stop and do 5 to 10 repetitions of this long, deep breathing to get yourself back on track. This is something that you can do in your car. You can do this when you are sitting at your desk at work. You can do this when you're standing in line at the grocery store. You can do this when you are feeling stressed or anxious. It's going to calm your body down. It's going to calm your mind down. It's going to activate that parasympathetic nervous system, and you're going to start feeling better. It doesn't take very long. And truly, this is the easiest, most important thing that you can do for your overall health. So I hope this was helpful for you. Please let me know how it went for you in the comments down below. I'd love it if you would like this video or share it with anyone you think might benefit, or even subscribe to my channel, because I've got a lot more video in the works for you guys. Just really simple things that you can do to improve your quality of life as we journey through life together. So thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me, and so much love to you.